When we talk about Christianity, we look to the one who actually suffered. Romans 8 gives us this crazy promise, which in life is really tough to believe sometimes. It says, all things work together for good for those who love God. All things. So my father dying when I'm 15 years old, at 47 years old, after not having seen me for 4 years. My stepdad passing away 10 years ago. The mental stuff I deal with Tourette's and obsessive compulsive disorder. What do you mean? What good? What good? Here's where Christianity is different, by the way. I don't know. I don't know what good. Christianity does not pretend to answer the question of pain by saying, let me tell you the reason for this in every circumstance. It doesn't do that. Fact, when you go back to the early parts of the Bible in Genesis 3, don't be mistaken by people who want to tell you that they're going to be able to tell you the answer to every pain. It doesn't happen. The Bible never even tries. You know what happens in Genesis 3? There's a snake and he's talking. What? It's like Narnia down there, all right? And he's like, hey, if you eat this tree, blah, blah. Now, wait a minute. Where did the snake come from? Bible never tells us. Why? Because it doesn't try to offer us a theology on the origins of evil, just like it doesn't want to give you a theology of the origin of every pain you've ever suffered. But here's what we do know, because we look back to history, not an idea, to history of the person and the work of Jesus Christ who died. Historians tell us he existed. At least 12 historians tell us he existed outside the Bible. Guys who were against Christianity, Tacitus, Suetonius, Pliny the Younger, go through the list, Google them if you want. Jesus Christ existed. He goes, tried by Pontius Pilate, he crucified, and his followers thought he rose from the dead. History says he probably did, and we, of course, as Christians, believe he did. All right, so if all of that's true, then we say, okay, Christianity is the thing that gets me through, because Christianity, he paid the price for me. Now, what does that do? It does something. This isn't just about Jesus, of course. This is about you. Because look at that verse 3, man. Yet you are holy. I love that pivot. All these bad things are happening in my life. So my friend runs a church down in Palm Springs. His name's Ricky. He's a pastor there. And I was on his Instagram this week, and I was scrolling my feed, and I saw a picture. Now listen to this. A picture of him and his elders on their knees on the ground in a particular spot on the church property. And they were bowed down. It was a picture of like 10 guys praying like this over a spot. And I'm like, that's a weird picture. What's going on? So his caption said, there was a terrible crime committed on our property as a church, and we wanted to do something about it. And so what had happened is these two people showed up and they were having skirmishes, and the guy stabbed his pregnant wife and left her for dead on the church property, and then took their 1-year-old and took off. The world sucks. There's so much pain. There's so much tragedy. And yet these elders were redeeming the spot. There's light, guys. We're called, if we know Jesus Christ, to be light in that place of pressure, of pain, of agony.